Welcome to an ERISA sunscreen moment, and I'm Dave Dacey. Wait a minute, no I'm not. I'm Lisa Galinsky, filling in for Dave Dacey.
And I'm Diane McNulty, filling in for myself.
And we are both with Withum, Smith & Brown's Employee Benefits Services Group. Thank you for joining me today, Diane.
Thanks for having me, Lisa.
For this month's ERISA sunscreen moment, we are going to be discussing the use of service organizations and the fiduciary's responsibility related to the use of these organizations. Diane, let's get started. Can you please tell our audience what a service organization is?
Sure, Lisa. A service organization is a third party hired by a plan to perform typically data processing for the plan, which will include payroll processing, investment transactions, and participant data reconciliations.
So why would a fiduciary care if their retirement plan is using a service organization?
Well, these organizations are relied upon by the plan to process transactions. So in effect, they become part of the plan and its internal control structure. So the fiduciary is responsible for the internal controls of the plan, which would include the controls of the service organization.
So how would a fiduciary go about determining what the controls are, understanding the controls, and determining that the controls are operating as intended?
The service organizations typically have a periodic audit report called a SOC 1 report. The fiduciary should gain a copy of this, obtain a copy of this, and review it to make sure that the controls are operating effectively, noting most importantly the complementary user entity controls that are outlined within this report.
And what are complementary user entity controls?
These are the controls that have to be in place at the plan in order for it to the organization to process information properly.
This review of the SOC report, it seems like a very overwhelming process, especially if you've never seen one before. Do you have any tips to help make this a more simple process?
Sure. There's a lot of information included in a SOC 1 report regarding internal controls, but Withum's developed a practice aid that'll help the fiduciary review the report and extract the information that's critical to understanding the controls. A copy of this practice aid can be found at erisahelp@withum.com.
This information has been very interesting and extremely helpful. Thank you for coming here today, Diane. This has been an ERISA sunscreen moment. Use it and don't get burned.